Hello everybody, I am the Worm and welcome back to ReFantazio. Today is the final episode before we have to go and have our climactic battle with Luis. That's right.
What now?
In just 2 days, we will be setting off to Grand Trad, and, well, I say climactic battle, but I'm 95%, let's just say 99% sure that the game is not going to end. And I'm choosing to believe that because of metagame reasons. Just due to the fact that, you know, we still have quite a lot of character quests to do, and we have archetypes that can only be unlocked through main story progression haven't been all the way unlocked yet. So clearly there's still quite a bit left. So I'm tempering my expectations here. I don't know if the battle is going to be delayed or no, there's going to be a battle, right? We did get here, we got this Luis fighting style. Which we will remind ourselves before actually going in. So clearly they're preparing us for something, and that's what all our time in Altabury has been toward that end of preparing for the fight. So there will be a fight, but it won't be the end of the game. That's what we're going to. But it is still going to be very significant. It's Luis round 2. Of course, there's going to be a round 3, right? So makes sense. Before that, we're going to spend these last 2 days just sort of prepping and doing the last few hangouts we can do. We're also doing some Memorandum wrap-up today. So I'm wondering, should I do that first, or should I hang out with our friends? See, here's the thing. I have a worry that it might be one of those situations where we have our last day in Altabury, and we get to the night, and we hang out with someone, and then, once it gets to the morning, it'll start an unskippable cutscene or series of cutscenes, and then I'd be in a bit of a bind. So, let's do this. Let's start with Memorandum wrap-up, and then, if it does get to a situation where I'm in an unskippable cutscene, then I will probably I will save before the last hangout, and then if it appears that, you know, it's going too far, I'll probably just stop the recording there, because I do want us going and fighting Luis and that whole part of the next main story. I want that to be its own thing. So, I'll just stop it in the middle of the cutscene whenever it feels like it's going too far, and then the following episode, yeah, I'll load that save, and then I'll just start recording when we get to where we were last. How does that sound? Sounds good to me. So let's go ahead and start. Memorandum. We've got quite a few to look at. Let's just start in nature and move down and across. Okay, how do you pronounce this? I mean, it's not Sogni, is it? Do you think the G is silent? Sown? Sogni Sown. I don't know. The Icebound. Okay, the ice-clad dragon kept at the Royal Mage Academy, and the core of many of its research projects. Oh my. The Mage Academy itself was built in a remote mountain area, primarily to study this being known as Sogni, one of the most powerful dragons known to man. Just as with the dragon Et, it can be pacified and contained with its corresponding divine relic, which Rayla had, I guess. However, the invading monks, overzealous and ignorant to its nature, sought to destroy it in the course of their attack on the academy, driving Sogni to blind, incessant rage. Its ensuing rampage claimed many lives on both sides. Man, as time goes on, I'm really wishing that the Mage Academy was its own dungeon. Sounds like I mean, it's something we already talked about it a little bit, but we've been hearing about this Mage Academy since the very beginning of the game. You know, it's been hyped up pretty big, and yet it just remains a little background area to one boss fight. Yeah. So there's another dragon god out there other than Et, looks like. Interesting, because I'm thinking back to the temple, the one we went to while we were at Rhea, and we saw that besides the dragon god Et, there were also other deities, and yet Et was the only draconic-looking one, so could be... Well, see, because I thought those murals were meant to be depicting old world civilization. I don't know. I'm not sure how it all works. Maybe there was another, obviously not Mastari, but another, what would be considered pagan, culturally, religiously pagan peoples in the north. I don't know. I think that's just baseless speculation, actually. Never mind. Let's keep looking. Coal Rodeo Cliff. Yes, this was a striking one. A section of coastal cliff between Virga Island and Montario. Though the precipitous chalk bluffs are breathtaking in their own right, the great horizontal fissure within this cliff, as if ripped from the land itself, is said to stir onlookers' hearts to sense the presence of some existence or entity beyond all mortal knowledge. A nursery tale familiar to all the kingdom's subjects explains that the crack was caused by the immense outpouring of power when God bestowed magic upon the lowly beasts we now know as tribesfolk. Wow. Monolith. Now this one's an interesting one. A massive, naturally levitating rock at the highest point of elevation at the heart of Altabury. Said to be a rock shaped by God's own hands, the mysterious site was proclaimed sacred ground by the Sanctus Church. It is theorized that it levitates because a large magma crystal vein in the nearby land, but the church's designation prevents scholars from approaching, so the surrounding geology has never been researched to full understanding. Interesting. I don't know if this is reasonable at all, but we've already seen from the various vistas across this land and at sea that there are a lot of strange sights and ruins and things from the old civilization. I mean, there was one thing we saw out at sea that it looked just like old technology. And thus, what I'm trying to get at is, in this place where there are so many strange sights, what was it about this particular one, this monolith, that the Sanctus Church decided, yep, this is the one, and not something else? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know that, but you know, say you know, there's Brylehaven's floating water things. You know, the big orbs of water floating. Am I remembering that right? Why is this floating rock a miracle by the Sanctists and not the floating water? I don't know. Decaying estate. This one's pretty crazy. Territory on a series of floating islands. Their sheer height puts them past any casual observer's sight, so almost none know of them. Several massive gray tower-like structures stand tall on the islands, glass littering the area around them. On rare occasions, if the weather is just right, a starlight twinkle can be seen in the nearby sky. Many believe this to mark a giant magma crystal floating in the sky, though it is actually a trick of the light scattered by the island's glass. So we don't know why it floats. It just floats. Pretty crazy. Solstice Crossing. Picturesque spot northwest of Altabury, the vivid contrast of color between the silver snow-capped mountains and distant Montario and the rich autumn foliage. The mountain's base is arresting enough to stop travelers in their tracks. This place, where two seasons seem to be thriving in tandem, has long been called the Land of Autumn and Winter's Crossing. How pretty. Everfrost Forest, a forested path in the northeast mountains of Ontario, rarely traveled due to the perpetual snowfall obstructing the entrance and the area's infamously barren yield. Uniquely for its elevation, snow in this region never melts, no matter the season. While some suspect a local magic effect at play, the region's relatively low importance has stalled any actual research into the matter. How about that? Okay, so we've had a few other we've had tons of royal magic entries, actually. So here's the new one. Protection rescinded. Dracodios, which has the power to break through the royal protective magic, was obtained by the top-tier candidate Luis. With this development, the former king realized that the protective magic no longer served a purpose and lifted it altogether. As a result, it has become possible to use force in the fight for the throne. Though Luis is no longer protected, it is necessary to remember that Colm isn't either. Yeah. Okay, the Frost Scepter. Divine relic formed the scepter that can control the ice dragon Sogni. It functions similarly to Dracodios, the divine relic of the dragon god Et, though its attributes are different. Sogni was discovered prowling the mountainside, having long outlived its handler, and thus posed an extreme natural threat. However, the discovery of this scepter during an excavation in the area made it possible to control Sogni, making the pair a point of research for the Mage Academy. Sogni's ice powers have less to do with cooling objects, but rather to decelerate or accelerate their movement. A skilled user of the scepter could easily obstruct a target or make themselves move at high speeds. However, the only person to achieve this was Rayla, who used it once during the attack on the Mage Academy. She used the scepter to secretly evacuate the surviving teachers and students to Altabury, avoiding death at the hands of the monk army surrounding it. Interesting that... Well, I guess I was gonna say interesting that she chose to go to Altabury. I mean, but of course she did have a high position within it, within Sanctism. But she was taking essentially refugees that are associated with the Mage Academy, so I'm wondering if she had any issues with that. Okay. Holy Grail. Divine relic resembling a chalice brought by Forden himself as an offering for Saints' Day. A sizable item instantly recognizable from a distance. It does not seem to be... it does not seem intended to be held in the hand as a normal cup would be. An inscription on the base reads, "A terrible and forbidden chalice which deceives the human heart to rule and control them." Who could say what this means? I have no idea. Didn't they say something like it could grant any wish? I feel like they would have used that if it did. Truth of the curse's formula. Luis was not the one who cursed the prince. Naturally, there was no way he constructed the curse either. The formulas found in his private chambers were merely a collection of attempted analyses of curses he had accumulated in trying to clear his name after being blamed for the prince's attack. Interesting that he had been trying to clear his name. I mean, certainly after... Maybe this is before the king's death. Because certainly after the king's death, he's been pretty... It's been very clear that Luis does not really care about anyone's opinion. You know what I mean? So it kind of surprises me that it's saying he wanted to clear his name when, you know, he's kind of a might makes right in a pretty clear way. So yeah, I don't know. It makes me think. That's why it makes me think that this was a pre-king death thing. That when he was still a member of the military and needed to keep up his reputation or something. Okay, that's all for magic. History. Altabury Heights. Capital of the Principality of Ontario, deep in the snowy mountains. Originally a small empty plateau, most of the city's modern-day structure was developed through workers' labor. Yeah? Sorry. Whose labor would it be otherwise, other than workers? Okay. Okay, the lower level in particular was developed over the last century. The features of a vast bridge, The lower level in particular was developed over the last century and features a vast bridge over a deep ravine. The city's distant grandeur among the misty peaks, when viewed from the foot of the mountain, has earned it the occasional nickname of the city in the sky. Said to be the birthplace of sanctism, it is home to a mysterious towering stone called the Monolith, and the entire city is renowned as a holy land. The Saints' Day festival takes place here every autumn, with some worshippers making long cross-kingdom pilgrimages to attend. Yes, indeed. An opera house built long ago, Montario Opera House. An opera house built long ago in Montario's capital, Voltabury, mostly reserved for special sanctist functions. The theater's unorthodox structure is born of being carved out of a cave from the foot of the rocky mountain below the monolith, famed for its opulent grandeur. It boasted the highest guest capacity in the kingdom until the building of the regolith Grand Cathedral. Interesting that no, they're not, because, there's St. Fermi's Church in Grand Trad. I was wondering, are all Sanctus holy buildings called opera houses? But no, that's not it. It's just interesting to me that it's the Montario Opera House and not the Montario Grand Cathedral or something, Why Opera House specifically? Seems like a very, very intentional choice that in the place of Sanctism's birth and most holy place, they build no temple and yet they build an opera house. Maybe someone can enlighten me as to why that might be. Unless they talk about it later. Okay, House Cygnus. An old Montarian noble house of great renown to which Junah and Rayla belong. Devoutly Sanctist, many of House Cygnus have gone on to earn high clerical or political titles in the crown theocracy. A legacy spanning 3 centuries, however, the family has many dark secrets buried. For generations, its members have been called upon to discreetly perform the church's dirtiest work, committing horrific atrocities to further Sanctism's political and cultural reach. Rayla, born with genius-level magical ability, was ensnared more deeply than any before her within those twisted bonds. Sanctism's in-house assassin, I guess. Malva, settlements in South Montario where dwellings are carved. Dwellings are caves carved into the mountain. Its people are disinterested in trade. The dairy farming from the alpine animals grants them self-sufficiency. Thought to be an archaeological site of an indigenous people who first carved the caves, the theory holds little water, as there is no evidence of a writing system and no historic points of interest. Perhaps attracted by its mystic nature, or in order to escape the city's bustle, many Ishkia have moved there hoping to enjoy a quiet life, and the village is thus called a place for recluses. Murky Graveyard. This place looked crazy. Mass grave stretching beneath a bridge connecting a bridge. Excuse me, sir. There are I see at least 6 bridges in this photo here. A mass grave stretching beneath a bridge connecting to Alderbury. Tens of thousands of casualties of the Annex War rest there, and in the middle stands a giant memorial monument. The grave was made to mourn for the many who could not be buried above ground due to the lack of flat land. But it has since been ravaged by wild dogs and monsters. Piles of bleached bones, now exposed to the elements, can be seen from the bridge above. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Not even, couldn't even dig a trench. Just left all the remains out on the surface. I mean, it says lack of flat land. I don't know. That is a crazy image that looks like it belongs in a different game. Okay. Truth of the Prince's Assault. Well, I don't know. Maybe, the humans have some pretty crazy designs. Okay. The attack on the prince 12 years ago caused a stir in the kingdom. The perpetrator of the attack was Rayla, only 12 years old at the time, which is pretty crazy, who was called forth to heal the prince as cover. The mastermind behind the attack, Warden, threatened Junah if she refused, and after much deliberation, Rayla decided to carry out his orders. Rayla's life of selflessness, her lack of desire for fame and fortune, her tireless devotion to healing magic and charity work, all stemmed from her ardent wish to atone for this tragic misdeed. I see. We kind of already went over that, so... Okay, bonds unfettered. Heisme. Heisme had long been searching for a place to bury the remains of his son, as per the traditions of the Ujif tribe, but ultimately decided against it. Instead, he chooses to continue the journey with a necklace containing his son's remains kept close to his heart. Heisme believes that the true way to mourn his son would not be to bury him as the son of a knight, but to stand tall for the oppressed Ujif tribe and for the sake of the future of all children. I mean, I see the logic, but, I mean, wouldn't be my choice, but I'm not Heisme, so that should probably come as no surprise. On Basilio. He fully trusts Fidelio's cautious choices, but conversely, Basilio has good instincts that his brother does not share. His decisiveness deriving from those instincts has saved the day on multiple occasions, though he loses his temper more easily than his older brother. Wearing his passion on his sleeve often reveals how deeply he cares. Yes. And Fidelio, a wary man unusually calm and wise among his Parapus tribe. However, he places little value on his own life, and despite his caution, he would readily choose to sacrifice himself for the sake of the big picture. Yeah, it's a shame that those two really got caught up with Luis. On Rayla, the perpetrator behind the attack on the prince, the mage who cast the curse placed upon him. However, just as the title saint implies, she sincerely cares for her sister Junah and the Sanctus believers. Bonds unfettered Maria. Though she used to be much more withdrawn, Maria is now friends with other children in town and plays outside with them with increasing frequency. Heartened to see her smiling once more, Fabienne and the honeybee regulars continue to watch over her with smiles of their own. She has also been taking small steps towards her new dream of going on a trip, by asking Hulkenberg and Norris about traveling and gauntlet runners when they visit. How nice. Alonso. Though Alonso has excelled at deceiving others since his youth, the only person he can't lie to is his adoptive mother. After devising a plan to entrap his village's landowner, he became fearful of his mother discovering his scheme and decided to leave his home. However, concerned his mother would worry if he simply disappeared, he invites her to his temporary residence to eat and sightsee, dutiful son that he is. Okay, so not really talking about the aftermath of that quest. And that's it. We're all caught up. That means we can do some hangouts. Oh, she's right here. Okay. Let us, because
What now?
Now I know this. Let's remind ourselves what happened with Junah. A textile merchant Capra approaches Junah on a shopping trip, asking her to perform at a festival for the town's laborers. She gladly accepts. Okay. Let's see what you got.
What now?
After we save.
Hey.
Alright, Junah. Let's start preparing.
Come now.
What? Excuse me? What did I just see?
Hold on. What?
Worried I lost you. I thought you left me behind. I was worried I lost you.
No.
Huh? Den.
Junah. You know what? Never mind. I saw nothing. Nope. Definitely didn't see a tiny child-sized Junah. Nope. Nada. Zilch.
Hmm.
No. Wait a second. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Come now.
Racial tension? In my metaphor ReFantazio? May be more likely than you think.
No way.
Who was she? Don't let her get to you. Should you back out? I mean... I'm not... There's no response I'm particularly gravitating towards. I don't think we should suggest backing out. Don't let her get to you. I mean, it's obviously already gotten to her a little bit. Who was she?
Hold on.
So,
Ah, jealousy.
My goodness.
huh? Got a second?
Tough world, are you sure she's no match for you? I don't really know how to respond to Junah. At least here. It's a tough world.
Really?
Yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to give this performance my all.
Okay, although I definitely didn't see a child Junah, I am suddenly a lot more interested in what this companion quest line is going to show me. Definitely
Leave
was
it to
not.
me.
Our companion turning into a child was not on my bingo card. Let's just say that. Is this something?
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Is this something that's normal for her, or no? You know what? No, we saw nothing. We saw nothing. Nothing happened. Just leave it.
Hey.
Right then.
One day left. Right.
Shall we?
Do me.
What'll I do? What
Yes. I've been thinking gameplay-wise,
Dreadful.
now that we have so
I
many
love
steamed
it.
buns,
What now?
I think I could probably rely less on equipment that generates MP. You know how on a couple of our characters we have It says restore some MP at the end of your turn. I'm feeling I may want to replace that with just more stat boosting things now, because now that we have, yeah, we're getting a good stockpile of these, and that is a substantial amount of MP to give everyone.
How about
Oh, yeah?
that?
Although, I do think I should maybe I should
Alright.
it's the status effects one. Because if we have a turn where everyone gets hit with some ailment, being able to clear all of them at once does sound really good. Sure.
Pretty good. Ha, look.
Exact.
No.
Dreadful.
Okay.
Dreadful.
Now that that's
Hey,
done, we can start hanging out with Basilio. But yeah, unfortunately, Basilio is one we're gonna save till much later.
What now?
Oh, you know what we need to do?
All right then.
We need to visit more.
Let's go.
In the last mission we did, and then when we fought, what's his name? Milo?
All right.
We got a few materials
Right.
with which to perhaps make some
Got it.
masks or talismans. So let's go check that.
And this. Now where?
Fascinating.
That's a good kitty.
Do make yourself at home.
Okay, masks. Got Trickster mask, that's new. Can make a healer mask. That lets us make a savior mask. Still need a Hierophant white mask. Well, I guess we can go ahead and make a savior mask. I guess this can be if we ever want to, because we're kind of an all-rounder, Colm, but if we ever want to reconfigure into a more damaging type, we can have her take care of the healing. I think that's all we can do with her. A few other things, but nothing I really want to do there. still need Talisman of the Raptor.
Oh,
Okay.
you'll come again.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
What
Let
now?
us remind ourselves. Curious about Sanctism, Eupha visits a church. The Sanctor and a young girl welcome her, and she wonders how to gain a deeper understanding. Yes, and I got some bad vibes at the end of that one. I think we're supposed to. Wait, who's that? Hey, bud.
Salutations.
Yeah, well, when are we gonna go fight you, huh?
You're not serious.
I've no idea. It's kid.
Now what am I to do?
Isn't this grand?
Hey!
Man, when are we gonna meet the prince?
Look at that. You're
I've
not
no idea.
You there?
Hang on. Isn't that? Let's see.
Nice.
Yep.
You're not
I've no idea. It's kid.
All right, Eupha.
What should we do?
Let's go see
I'm quite grateful.
what you're up to.
Well, now, you know,
Oh my. What kind of dance is it? How about a preview? Teach me too. What kind of dance is it?
um,
And so now,
It's the basics. I don't know anything at all. I feel like we know about the basics. Uh-huh.
I see. Oh,
Kind of interesting that we're, well, kind of interesting that we're doing this whole introductory sanctism thing after the whole Altabury arc happened with, you know, the fall of Forden and then with Rayla and, you know, it's been a lot. But I guess on the ground, sanctism is still just going as usual.
indeed.
Oh my. I'm surprised you're saying that when, you know, Colm is an Elda, which, you know, it is in the teachings of Sanctism itself that we're a bit of a cursed race. Or tribe, rather. Oop, that was, I did not realize I was speaking there. Uh-huh. Is it gonna be more of those, you know, what is it? Igniter experiments?
See you later. No.
Okay, let's see. Hey, your beliefs are your own.
Sure.
Indeed. I see it as my turn to test my mettle.
Okay. Yeah. All right, everybody.
I'm in trouble.
I can't believe
All right.
it.
Time for the last thing today.
What now?
Oh, we actually can't hang out with Junah. Catherina's available, though. That's good. Well, I guess there was, on the previous night, I guess in some companion quests you have to wait a night or two before it's available again. I guess we're hanging out with Catherina tonight. Alright, so we're going to do this companion quest. Then we're going to hope there's a time where we can stop. But I'm fully readying myself for being thrust into the cutscene immediately. So let's go ahead, see what we're dealing with. Oh wait, I forgot.
Thing is,
Hang on.
What now?
Let's remind ourselves. Catherina's supporters have taken to kidnapping and ransoming random wealthy citizens. She asks Holmes' help in stopping them. Yep, I remember.
Thing is,
Anyone would be afraid.
Huh?
Yeah, we're very tolerant, you see, about people who are afraid.
How about it?
Let's go.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Be proud, be calm.
Wait.
Hmm? Listen to me! Everyone! You're pulling my leg! Hey!
Duh.
Boyfriend? Excuse me?
Bloody hell. Listen up. You got it.
Oh snap.
Huh? Ah.
Hmm? I'm real sorry. That's why.
Well, that was easy, huh? Nice for a second. We finally had peace. Serves him right. Yeah, serves him right.
Hey.
Oh.
But come on.
We can work on that.
It'll be fine.
Thank you. So much.
Nice.
I gotta keep getting better, don't I?
I wonder what it means by general store. Not sure which one that is. Well, all right.
You... Somehow...
Not our true enemy, huh? Why do you say that? Interesting. So we have to say, I don't feel that way at all, or to tell the truth. Well, so do I have doubts or do I not have doubts? I feel like we don't really have a choice at this point.
It'll be fine.
Yes. However... May I speak?
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Heisme.
We can't lose.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Besides,
Very true.
that reminds me.
Oh, does he now?
Okay then.
Time marches on, and the age of a new
sounds-
king draws nearer.
Sounds interesting.
It's finally here.
Oh yes, that should be fun.
At last, only a day remains.
Okay, this is really feeling like it's the beginning of a cutscene here. So I think I want to stop. It could be a thing where it's something like there's a little conversation and then, you know, we'll be given control in the Gauntlet Runner again, but I don't want to risk it. So we're gonna call it here. I'll go ahead and close the game. And next time, we will start right at this moment. So we may do a brief. You know what we'll probably do, actually? I'll probably start at my save right before, you know, obviously I'll load my previous save, but I'll probably open up on the... I'll start the recording at that save, and we may go through a little prep. You know, we'll go through that hint that we got on Luis's combat style, and prep our party accordingly, and then I'll skip ahead to this moment once again. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And so I hope you're all prepared, because next time we are taking the fight straight to Luis. And again, you know, meta-wise, I know it's not going to be the end, but I think we can at least give him maybe a bit of a bloody nose, right? Let's go for that. Alright everybody, I am The Worm, this has been Meta for ReFantazio. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.